FCC has temporarily given license to T-Mobile and SpaceX to launch their satellite communication service in Helene-hit areas. Hurricane Helene struck in late September 2024 and led to widespread devastation across the southeastern U.S., and some of the hardest hit areas include South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Florida. The storm severely impacted communication infrastructure and many of the affected people were left without access to emergency services or relief. SpaceX promptly responded by deploying its Starlink satellite system in areas that were worse off to extend connectivity. Now, the relief efforts have escalated, with the FCC granting SpaceX and T-Mobile a temporary license to extend their direct-to-cell service to affected areas. FCC grants T-Mobile and SpaceX a temporary license to launch the direct-to-cell service in Hurricane Helene-hit areas. The direct-to-cell initiative is a joint effort by SpaceX and T-Mobile that was slated towards an end-of-the-year launch window. It helps extend cellular coverage to areas where connectivity can be distorted, and with the help of the satellite infrastructure and T-Mobile's pieces G-block spectrum, communication disruptions or issues can be dealt with. The rollout was pushed back amidst a disagreement with the FCC over a waiver requested for an out-of-band power flux density (PFD) limit that the rival companies contested against not being granted. Even though the commercial release has been delayed amidst the ongoing waiver issue, the FCC has temporarily allowed SpaceX and T-Mobile to launch their satellite communication services in Hurricane Helene impacted areas. The satellites have been enabled, and emergency alerts have already been sent to all cellular networks in North Carolina. It is even testing the SMS capabilities with phones on T-Mobile's network in North Carolina. Since the direct-to-cell service is still in the works and not fully operational, SpaceX gives a heads up regarding some occasional service interruptions that might have potential coverage gaps. However, it still comes as a huge aid, especially in regions that have no connectivity at all. SpaceX is vigorously working towards extending support for hardest hit areas by giving free Starlink internet services for 30 days and allowing people to have access to communication in this critical period. Starlink's internet services require small terminals to be set up where the services are to be used so that the low-orbit satellites can provide internet access. However, the direct-to-cell service that SpaceX and T-Mobile are bringing forward together does not require any special equipment or hardware and can work with any smartphone, making communication in affected areas with no regular cell towers easier. iPhone or later models, on the other hand, have access to communication through a built-in satellite feature that Apple incorporated with the help of Globalstar. iOS users have found emergency messages via satellite to be a huge facility. SpaceX's rapid deployment of Starlink satellite in disaster-stricken areas has helped restore communication and has played a critical role in this situation, especially with the launch of the direct-to-cell service with T-Mobile. It has proven its position of staying ahead of its rivals, especially in dire situations like these.